Hello and welcome to Law and Order SVU here on FANVERSATION. This is season 24, episode 15, King of the Moon. I'm Yael Teagle. This is Taylor Gates. Hello, Taylor.
Hello.
Hello. We're King of the Moon. I don't know why I feel like I have to say it that way.
Because you do have to say it that way. Just like when you say counselor, it's Chinatown.
Exactly.
Like there's a cadence to it that you have to hit for it to sound correct.
Great. I'm glad you agree with me. Before we jump into King of the Moon, I want to remind everybody of the RAINN Hotline. If you need it, that number is 1-800-656-4673, 1-800-656-4673. Taylor, what does 4673 spell?
It spells hope.
It does spell hope. And we have two people in the chat with us joining us. Lizette is here. Alexa is here. Hello. Welcome. Again, if this is your first time. Yep. Hello. If this is your first time, welcome. I guarantee I'm going to say something offensive. So please consider this your content warning as we discuss King of the Moon.
Period.
Okay, here's the quick cap. A man with dementia confesses to murder, but Benson and Gracie believe there's more to the case. When rumors swirl around the squad room, Finn presses Velasco for the truth. We will get to the Velasco shit. I want to focus on the King of the Moon shit first. This episode, and I feel like this is very important information for someone who may not know, was directed by Mariska. This was her direction. And that is why it was so different. I mean, she's directed before, but this episode was like so different and absolutely beautiful. And I just really enjoyed the completely, it felt so different. At least all the King of the Moon shit did.
I agree. I didn't even realize that because I watched it right when it aired and then I rewatched it and I was just, I guess, not paying attention to the credits, but I noted that both times. I was like, I love the very stylized opening where we're kind of going through the relationship. I think the end is really cool with the different sort of graphics. Like they gave her budget, which thank you. She deserves that. And I agree. I thought it was really fun. And I like it because SVU can feel a bit monotonous in terms of the directing style. I think it gets very consistent. It's kind of very cut and dry. So when they do something a little bit different like this, I always think it's really fun to kind of go outside the box.
Yes. And this episode was the direction was so far outside the box. That I absolutely enjoyed that. But so this is gonna sound weird. It reminded me of, I think it's Agent Provocateur is the episode that it starts with the girl and it's that song. There's a song and it starts with the girl and her story, and then it sees her on the bed, and then all of a sudden she's in the suitcase. And I was like, oh, good transition. But this one, for whatever reason, I think because of the amount of stuff we saw before the done was really really beautiful. I don't know why I've compared those episodes in my head, but I get that
though. Sometimes it will just remind you of different ones. I agree.
Yeah. Lizette in the chat says Yael's going to say something bad.
Well,
Understatement.
So.
All right, so let's talk about the actual case. I think, first of all, Bradley Whitford, returning champ Bradley Whitford. For those who don't recall, he was in a previous episode that I absolutely love, that I then realized is essentially, I always thought it was the Roman Polanski story, but it is in fact Roman Polanski mixed with Woody Allen. So that was also fun that he did that. That was a previous episode. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Give me a second. I'm doing my job. Hold on. Previously, he was in season 15, episode 22, Reasonable Doubt.
He's great. Yeah. He's always delivers.
Yes. Yeah, I absolutely really loved this performance of his. Really beautiful. He's so good. He's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Winnie was played by Nancy Travis, who in my mind is just the wife from Last Man Standing, which is that stupid Tim Allen show.
Wow, why and how have you seen that?
I haven't. I've just seen commercials. I've
Okay,
literally
I was
never
gonna say, I was
watched
like,
an
that
episode.
just does not really feel like your vibe in any way. So
Nope.
interesting choice.
Never seen an
Caitlin
episode.
Deaver was like on that for like a hot minute though, right?
Who?
Too? Caitlin Deaver from
I don't.
like
Oh,
Unbelievable. From
maybe.
what was that movie
Oh,
that
was
just
she the
came out?
daughter? Yeah, she was one of the
Okay,
daughters.
because she's like amazing, and I feel like they like really like really bullied her into that contract because I was like, she should be doing other stuff. Like,
Yep, this is us talking shit about a different show on
sorry,
the SVU
but
show.
we're in the industry. Like, we have opinions, okay?
Okay. But I will say one of my favorite things about this episode actually had to be Bradley Whitford's character's lawyer, who's played by our old friend JC McKenzie, who you may recall from Raw. And he was on the podcast. So if you go back to the Raw episode discussion, he was our guest. It's really funny to see him in this role.
It is.
Yes. Also, I, for whatever reason, I'm aware that his wife's name was Winnie, but every time they said Virginia, which is the name of the like lady who takes care of him, I thought Virginia was the wife.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Because like I guess Ginny and Winnie, I'm guessing is where my brain went.
Also, off topic but not on topic, I really thought that nurse was sus. Like, I thought she had something to do with it. I really did. I was like, there's something wrong with her. But she was fine. But I don't know. Keep an eye on her, you know?
I mean, she was fine. It's her nephew, Kevin, who was the problem.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's just something where I was like, I don't know. She seemed off.
I agree. So I mean, in terms of like the story of what happened, it felt like more of what we focused on was like this man and his disease and not like his wife's murder and rape.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh yeah, homicide didn't do their job. We did. There he is.
Yeah. I feel like it did work though. And I feel like that's usually when they like don't focus on the actual sex crime at all. I'm annoyed. But I feel like this one, I don't know, I like it when we like dive really deep into one of the like guest stars. Like, I don't know, the one I always will reference is Dreams Deferred, like the Patricia Arquette one, where it's like very much like a character study of like who she is. And I feel like this was kind of the same thing for Bradley Whitford's character. And I feel like if you get like a big enough name and like a good enough like person to act, it like sometimes it really works and it's like very fun, you know, kind of switching it up a bit. And so I think that I liked this one.
First of all, great comparison, beautifully done. Dreams Deferred, the only episode to have made me cry.
I'm always thinking about Dreams Deferred. Like, I'm still so mad she didn't get an Emmy nom for the guest star. Like, she was so good in that.
Yeah, Doreen in the chat says Dreams Deferred top 10. Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
Yeah. Oh, I think upon rewatch, I think that my like issue though, right? I agree that it was this beautiful character and like the way that we saw him from childhood to dying, like so touching, so heartbreaking, so beautiful. But the like actual case of what happened, it lacked luster. That said, so Kevin nephew Kevin had, I think, one of the greatest, like he seemed like a really shitty and stupid criminal, which as we know, I prefer my criminals to be devious and smart, but whatever. He did do something deviously smart that I loved. His alibi was that he was at home alone on Sugar Fap and he left his computer open and the cam girl vouched for him.
Yeah.
That is so beautiful. It's so smart.
It is so smart. I liked like some of I will say I agree with you that the case itself was like, okay, fine, whatever. But some of like the details, like the way they found evidence, I thought was really fun. I really like the CPAP machine, like timestamps. I was like, ooh, that's, I don't know how it technically really works. But I thought that was cool, like a nice way to see, oh no, that guy was sleeping, you know? I don't know. I thought that was neat.
No, for
Interesting.
sure. I think my problem is like the motivation, right? Like he
Yeah.
confesses and then he's like, I didn't mean to kill, she was old, she died. But also I was like, I don't necessarily understand the timeline of the evening, because we saw her, he woke up to a sound, right? And then she at some point was raped and then accidentally died.
Oops. Yeah. I don't know. It was, yes, I agree. It was a bit convoluted.
Yeah, I almost feel like it should have just been like we've previously had it where a woman who was older died of a heart attack during a rape, and I almost feel like it should have just been that,
Yeah.
so that it felt less weird.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Just thoughts. But again, my note is just so amused about the sugar fap. So
Sugar Fap. And
first of all,
Doorjet, like I love
yes,
the fake company names. We know that. Like Doorjet's like actually a good one though. I was like, honestly, I will give that to you. Like sometimes they really have some like what? But Doorjet feels like that could be a real thing. So
yeah. What did you think about Carisi and Benson teaming up in this episode?
I liked it fine.
Yes.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Carisi lawyer, it's still just like fine to me. Like you know what I mean? He just is not in that like league with like a Barba or a Casey Novak or an Alec. Like it just is not, it doesn't do it for me like they did. So every time Creasy's on, I'm like, this is fine. But like where is his, you know what I mean? It's just not, he's fine as a lawyer, but it's not doing it for me yet. I don't know that he ever will. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
How interesting. I think what bothers me is that Benson was like, are you hitting me up because, is this lawyer Creasy? Is this cop Creasy? And he was like, it's hopeless romantic Creasy.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not your job. That's not how this works. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Like, I don't hate him as a character, but like you have to be meaner, frankly. Like, I'm gonna be so honest. Like, our lawyers have always been a little mean, and like he's not mean enough.
I mean, first of all, yes, you're right. They have all been a little mean. And I love that. Yeah, but I don't necessarily need him to be meaner. I think what I need is him to kind of decide where he is, right? Because it does feel like he's playing both sides, which we've never had before. And to be fair, like narratively, that's interesting. And maybe that should be a conversation. Doreen in the chat says he's still on the fence. And I agree. She says he still acts like a cop. So I think that that's the issue. And I think that should be a discussion on the show, right? Like, hey, you decided that we should go down this homicide and close the case. Your job is not to consider if they were wrong.
Right.
That's not your job. They were wrong. They obviously didn't. I mean, the part where they're looking through the footage and Benson's like, hello.
Interview him or okay.
Yeah. So like, yes, they were wrong, but it's not his job. And so I kind of want to see him get yelled at.
Yeah. I agree. Like, I just don't think he has any, I don't know, like, you usually have, like, a specific trait that you are as a lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, you have a brand. And I'm like, what's his brand?
We'll go through the lawyers. What are their brands? Who have we had?
I mean, Barbara's just, like, the sass, the very smart ways of, like, doing stuff on the stand, which like we'll get to that in the next episode, I guess. But I don't know, like very like cunning, I guess, in a way. Like Alex, I guess, I mean, she was mean in a way, but she had like a lot of compassion. I feel like that was like her like superpower. Like she was very like logical too. And then Casey Novak was just like a little wacky and like unhinged. That's why she was my favorite. But I'm just like, what? Like I'm like, I don't know what adjective I like use to describe him. He's just like kind of Italian. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what's interesting? I think that this episode specifically, it felt like he was puppy dog Carisi, which I feel like we've seen before. And I need him to be lawyer Carisi. I need him to be, I want to be Barba Carisi, because that's my favorite Carisi, is him attempting to be Barba. Not just because I miss Barba, but because it character-wise makes sense to me that Carisi he idolized that man. And yes, they broke up, but still, I think that he...
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Also, just to go back to your descriptions of our ADAs, Sonia Paxton, vicious.
I miss her. I mean, he wasn't there for that long, but I love Sonia too.
Yes. And then I will say, Stone, we all are aware.
I forget he exists.
Useless. That was his adjective.
Boring.
Shirt on, useless.
Kim Graylick hated, just like the worst. I hated her so much, like to the point where when I saw her and like that actor and other things, I was like, okay, she actually is like, I do like her in this, but like I hated her, which is like not, I mean, I don't think anyone like loved her, but I don't think anyone viciously hates her as much as I do. There's something about her that bothered me so bad.
That's funny. All right, so that's the King of the Moon portion. Let's talk about the other half of this episode, which was atrocious. Hi friends, we're going to talk about what my notes have labeled the Velasco crap.
Yeah.
I'll start with this. I think that Finn telling Benson, separate yourself, you need plausible deniability, we've got this, so that McGrath doesn't come down on you. Perfect. That is what he should be doing. He is her number 2. He is the sergeant. 100% correct move. The fact that he tells Velasco to get an interrogation, he goes, who are we interrogating? And then she says, you? I would have been like, Benson, leave. You're not here.
You gotta stop that. Yeah. Yeah. I did like how Finn was like playing dad essentially in this episode. It was like giving fatherhood, like with Velasco and Churlish. I don't know. I love that. I like it when we have Finn in that, like, because he's so silly. He's so goofy. He's making all his jokes, but like he knows what he's doing. And when he has to take a leadership control, I always think that's fun.
I agree. I think that it bums me out when he has to like be the adult.
Yeah. I think it's kind of fun though, because he doesn't have to do it that much.
Right. But he deserves to just sit back and make his one-liners.
His little wisecracks. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's so interesting. So I was reading a review about this episode to prep for today. And one of the things that somebody had said was that all of this Velasco crap should have been in a different episode. It should have been in the last episode, which is the Dutch Tears episode. Mm-hmm. Because it like had to do with the past and Finn's past and whatever, and that it really had no place in this episode, which I agree. I feel like usually the like two stories at least like parallel,
thematically linked.
Yeah. Nope. It was like, we need to deal with this, but also this beautiful story.
Honestly, like kind of glad they slipped it in here because I just like really hated it. So I was like, well, at least I have the other story to go back to when this is done. Like it was kind of helping string me along a little bit. Can we like break it down what happened though? Because like I hated how everybody in the situation reacted, frankly. Listen, this is gonna sound bad, and I just want to say I'm not making fun. Like I'm sure this stuff really does happen, like in the cartel, all of that, whatever. A hitman school. Like, is this Black Widow? Like, I don't, what does that look like?
I'm sorry. I think you're imagining something very specific.
I'm sure I am, but like, why would you call it that? What is this? Like,
so no. So it's if you think of well, I'm gonna say it, and if I'm wrong or offensive, I'm sorry. If you think of like countries that are war-torn countries,
child soldiers and things.
yes, child
I get
soldiers.
it. I get what they're. Listen, I understand.
It's not a school.
No, I know. I think I understand what they were meaning, but the wording of it was so weird and just didn't feel right. Hitman school, like, what are you? Like, that was a literal phrase they used, correct? Hitman school.
No, it was he thought it was a camp and that it was a school for sicarios, and then they were like assassins.
And that's why my mind's
you
going
put that together to Hitman school.
Like, I just feel like maybe we could have worded that different, and so I wasn't just picturing what I was picturing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Although I have to say I would watch that.
100%.
I have. So
it felt weird that Shirlish was part of the interrogation. In that,
who are you?
But also,
who are you? Like, I like you, but like,
it just felt like her, right? Like Finn's interrogation was, like, we're trying to get to the bottom of this, and hers felt like, you're a liar and you hurt my feelings. And it's like, this isn't about you.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Maybe this is a very unpopular opinion. This first part's not the unpopular opinion. It's very popular. I don't like Velasco very much, okay? You know that. However, I feel like perhaps everyone could have had slightly more empathy. I'm serious. I feel like they were like, you are still loyal to this killer. Like, straight up, kind of what was he supposed to do? You know what I mean? And like, this guy was his friend. This guy kind of saved his life, whatever. Olivia's like, yeah, that's what it takes for us to be good. And you're a fucking water of a man. I was like, that feels kind of like maybe you should, like, last week you were just talking about how, yeah, this guy's a perp, but he's also a victim. And like, we're having empathy for this weird 34, whatever that guy was, Michelle Gomez's son.
Wait. For anyone listening and watching episodes in order, when she says last week, she means an episode from four episodes.
But I'm like, how are you gonna be like, he's still a victim? But like, you aren't gonna even think about that for Velasco. Like, he didn't really have a choice either. He got sent to Hitman school. Like, he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to kill this guy. I just feel like everyone was being kind of harsh on him a little bit.
Okay, so first of all, 100% an unpopular opinion. And second of all,
just saying.
I understand what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. Doreen also says he was a kid. And I think that that's an interesting topic and an interesting point that you make. You're right. I think that this whole thing, when they were like, show your loyalty, you can't be loyal to this killer. I think at that point to be like, he did this for you, you got free, and now it's time. Like, that should be the approach, not don't be loyal to him. It's now it's time.
But here's the thing. Stitches get stitches.
Oh, I know.
So he's gonna get stitches. Why would you willingly give this person up?
So
no, I wouldn't do that either.
I have an answer, but it's not the right one for this podcast. So here's okay. Let's go back to Velasco for a sec.
Okay.
I felt like a lot of, up until I think maybe nowish, it's like we forgot that the way he came and joined our team was he was McGrath's like guy, right? Like, he got forced on the team because McGrath was like, this is my guy. He's good. Yeah. And I think that should have been more part of the story, in that, like, not necessarily that McGrath like covered for him or knew about it or whatever, but like maybe a discussion of, can we even force him to do this because he's got this protection from McGrath? Which, to go back to what I was going to say a second ago about why we would ask him to snitch, is because the cops are a gang. And so I think that it would make sense for them to be like, you got to be loyal to this gang only. And McGrath being like, I'm protecting you because they're a gang.
You're right. I don't know. I just feel like this was handled really strange.
I mean, the story itself, I think, was very strange because the whole thing started with you gave this guy drugs, and it turns out he gave him powdered sugar. I'm going to say this. I've never snorted anything, drugs or otherwise, but I can only imagine that snorting powdered sugar fucking hurts. Right?
Snorting Coke would hurt too. No?
I don't know. I just assume that, like, you know, when, like, for those who don't know, I drink a lot of Diet Coke, and Diet Coke sometimes will go up your nose if you laugh too hard or if you burp through your nose, and it burns.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that powdered sugar does not feel good in your nose.
I just can't imagine Coke does either.
I don't know. I assume it did since people do it so often.
Yeah, but it's not about the snort. It's about how it makes the rest of your body feel, I would assume.
Sure, but it might be worth the pain.
Powdered sugar might be too. We don't know. We've never done it.
All right. If you, audience, have ever snorted
powdered sugar
or cocaine,
well, yeah.
I would take, if you snorted anything.
I've snorted nasal spray. And I don't like that at all.
That shit sucks.
That shit sucks.
Well, I guess I've done that too.
Yeah. But I feel like it's just quite different.
Whatever. Placebo this, friends.
Placebo this.
Okay. So, what is it? Darren says no, but just Diet Coke up the nose.
Yeah, we've all
been there. Yeah. I think that what's interesting is this whole Velasco thing really bums me out. Because who was it? Maybe was it Stabler who like got into a fight the night before he like joined the academy or something? Maybe. And his cousin like took the fall. There is a previous somebody on the show who's had a story where like they were about to become a cop and it could have been ruined and somebody else took the fall. And it wasn't a big deal, but that's what this sounds like, right? Is that Velasco had a similar situation in his past that somebody else took the fall for him. And so he feels obligated to him. Somebody whose name is Chili. And I would like to know,
me and my boy Chili.
I did not have the subtitles on. So is it chili like cold? Yes. Or chili like food?
Like cold, according to the subtitles.
Thank you. Yep. Doreen corrects me. Thank you. It was Amaro.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks, Doreen. I knew somebody. Go back and watch the Amaro years.
They're not bad. Amaro years. They're good years.
Yeah.
Season 13, one of the best seasons.
Go on. What was in 13?
Well, that's just
his first year
after Stabler left, and we were all nervous. I mean, maybe you weren't. I was a little nervous. I was like, how is this going to be without him? And I fucking love season 13. It's one of my favorite seasons.
It's a good season.
It is.
You know what I think is also interesting is Finn asks Velasco, or no, Finn suggests that Velasco became a cop because of his penance, right? He says, why do you think I became a cop? And he says, penance. And then Benson later is like, being a cop isn't penance. And I was like, then why did we have that other line?
What's the truth? What's the truth? Yeah.
I understand that it's like mirroring or whatever, but.
She was harsh.
Yeah, she felt like a gang leader.
She felt like particularly harsh. I don't know what about it was, but I was like, she hates this kid. Like, insane, but
yeah, we should friends. One, he should have never joined the team. And two, we should have gotten rid of him a while ago.
Yeah.
Because is this whole storyline supposed to make us like him more?
I don't know.
Because it's definitely not doing that.
Show him in Hitman School. Hitman Academy, baby.
All right, we're gonna move on. All right, best lines.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna go first. What was it? What did I say earlier? Placebo this.
Placebo this.
Placebo this, friends. I want to start every sentence with that.
Yeah.
And then also, you're 180 pounds of water in the shape of a man.
That was a burn.
It's a beautiful burn.
Yeah.
I loved it. Hold on. Alexa says she was only harsh because she only had one heartstring left. It was already at that point it was gone. She already used it.
Yeah, she did.
Which is a good line. You pulling on the one heartstring I have left.
Yep. I had that one as well.
Oh, and then I forgot it's the same episode. Okay, here's my other line that really actually a very, very well written line. This disease is like the teeth of God biting into a liqueur chocolate and sucking all the memories out of your head like a maraschino cherry. And there's no cure.
I liked it too, and it was like a lot. But I feel like it was very like fitting with his character. Like he just talks like that. Yeah, I agree.
I assume you have the other perfect line. So
yes,
hit me.
That amount of homework for some mid-level banger. Look who it is, Captain America. Speaking as an ADA or as a cop, speaking as a hopeless romantic. We got that one. We should place this mall rat under arrest.
That one offends me. That is not what a mall rat is.
Certainly not. Here's the other line I'm sure you're referencing. An expeditious taste of shotgun-flavored mouthwash.
That was not it, but that's a great line.
Snitches get stitches, Olivia said, and that's why I was confused at the end where she's like, you just said snitches get stitches. Use your head. You know why God created lawyers, so toilet plungers had something to look down on. An ass like the devil and a face like Jane Mansfield.
For those who don't understand that reference, Jane Mansfield is Mariska's mother.
Yes, that's a great one. That whole hospital scene, he was throwing out zingers like no one's
that. Yeah, but that line specifically, as I'm watching it live on Thursday, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, they did that.
It's great.
Me and my boy Chili. I love me and my boy Chili.
But you see how I could be confused as to what his name was?
I had to look at the subtitles for that.
Okay.
With the dogs' names too. Yeah, we want you to like do something, because you've been doing nothing. I actually hated this line, but they said it a lot. She bellowed like a bullfrog. Ooh, I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like that image.
Are you not a fan of frogs, or?
I don't like bellow like a bullfrog. Sounds so. I don't know. I didn't like it. Right. That's a personal problem, though.
Yeah.
He says he was home alone on Sugar Fap.
He even left the computer open so that the camera would vouch.
Oh, I was like, did Sugar Fap replace Tasty Sugar? But Tasty Sugar is different because Tasty Sugar is a Sugar Baby website.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you not remember Sugar Fap? John Waters is the CEO.
I know. But I was just like, did they take over Tasty Sugar? Because Tasty Sugar but they're different. They just both have sugar in the title.
Right. Tasty Sugar is a sugar daddy dating. Yeah, sugar daddy, sugar baby dating. This is Sugar Fap. It is truly a sad day at Sugar Fap.
It's truly a sad day at Sugar Fap.
Oh fuck yes!
I just love Luscious Grape. Like there's just so many good company names. They're going to hear of the woman who was smothered without mercy, and he'll get no mercy. Go off. And finally, Doorjet don't pay as much as people think. Who is thinking Doorjet pays a lot? I guess is my question. Because I certainly wouldn't think that it's like making you roll in the dough, personally. But okay.
Oh man, these are good. You are killing me. Apparently, we are killing Doreen.
Thanks, Doreen. We try.
Those are so good. All right. I have news for everyone. Where there it is. Friends. There's a headline with real news, actual news. That said, we don't have any reviews, but here is the news. Okay. Our beloved Kelly Giddish, Detective Amanda Rollins, is going to be returning to SVU, at least for an episode. And not just that, she will be on the penultimate episode of Organized Crime. So there's that. But more importantly, she will be on the season finale of SVU. And major spoiler, if you consider this a spoiler, she prego. Again.
Yeah.
Just to confirm, this would be baby 3 with baby daddy 3. No judgment or shame, just facts.
Just facts. I feel like this will be the last baby daddy.
I hope so.
In the show. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're in end game, so.
Yes. Yep. So that is...
Here's the thing. That's just too many kids for me. Like, 1 is too many. 3 is that's a lot of children to take care of.
That's 3 too many.
And they're so small. They're also small.
Yeah. Yes. People in the chat are very excited. Doreen says, yes, she's back and preggers. That's true. Carice is going to be a dad. That's the assumption.
If not, that would actually be really funny.
To be fair, this is SVU.
This is SVU. You really don't know. But I feel like you know.
Right. I feel like we know. Yes. Where are my notes? I lost them. Okay, so that's the news for those who wanted news. That's news. There are no new reviews on iTunes, which is a bummer because that's all you asked for your birthday.
That's what I'm saying. You guys failed me.
Oof. Wow, she's mad.
Disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Okay.
Ooh, worse. Yeah, so for those who are listening to us on iTunes, please leave us a rating and a review. If you like us, 5 stars. If you don't like us, 4 stars. The other stars are broken. If you don't like us, you have to tell us why and what we can do to improve. Will we do it? Maybe.
Depends. Only one way to find out.
Seriously. Also, yes, thank you, Doreen. The other news that is SVU is renewed. Not a shocker. What was shocking, Organized Crime was also renewed.
For a shorter season, though.
For a shorter season. Am I behind for us? Yes. Do I intend to catch up? At some point. Probably over the summer when there's nothing to watch. Although, to be fair, if we are having, I'm assuming, a crossover since Amanda's going to be on both, I guess I'll catch up before then.
That's such a strange... that she's crossing over, like, for what?
I mean, she did cross over in a previous episode.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, if she joins that show, maybe I'll care more.
That'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I'm listening.
Where were we? Oh, it's time for the weekly poll. Hey, Taylor, did you do a weekly poll?
Well, I posted the one from last week, and I'm literally going to try it. I think we need to come up with the poll on air. Okay, I think I want to try that method. But last week I asked, is a dysfunctional mother better than no mother?
Than no mother at all, yes.
And shockingly, not shockingly, because we both were like, literally no, that's not true. And most people agreed. No mother is better, got 72.7% of the vote. Whereas dysfunction is better got 27.3% of the vote. So everyone was in agreement with us that no mother is actually better than a dysfunctional one. And so that dad in that episode was simply incorrect, as we all knew him to be.
That might be my favorite poll we've ever done.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Maybe this week's poll is, do you think Doorjet pays a lot?
I guess the question is, do you think anyone thinks that Doorjet pays? Actually, I think our poll, well, to be fair, if we do a poll this week, we have 2 episodes. So maybe
we'll nail one down during the next podcast.
I think that's the better move.
Because
So
wow, what an episode.
cannot wait. So that's that. And then what did we learn this episode? Oh shit. Hit me.
I know what perindinate is and how to spell it now.
What is it?
It means to procrastinate or put something off.
Beautiful.
And I think that kind of is a bit symbolic foreshadowing, considering the fact he did not kill himself like he said he was going to. Or maybe that's me reading too much into it, but let's pretend that that's critical analysis, baby, and that's what I went to school for. So
love it.
Well, the literature minor, okay?
I learned that Velasco is 180 pounds of water in the shape of a man. I would say he is in the shape of a man-child, but that's just me. I will also say the other thing I learned, and I think I'm going to say it again because I thought it was so beautiful, is that dementia is like the teeth of God biting into a liqueur chocolate and sucking all the memories out of your head like a maraschino cherry.
So
because
sad.
That is a lot and a very colorful description, but it is very clear what it means. And I really, really, as sad as this is going to sound, like that description.
No, I agree. It's a really sad disease.
Yeah. Yeah. Not to bring everybody down. Sorry about that. Let me say something offensive and bring this show back up.
Yeah, don't worry. Next episode, baby.
I'm so fucking excited. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say for everybody who is watching us live. There is a link in the description below if you aren't subscribed to FANVERSATION for some reason. So click on that link when we get off this stream, and we will meet you there in a few minutes. I just have to rearrange my notes, and we're ready to go. Until next episode, where we will tell you the poll. Taylor, where are you, and where's the poll?
I am on Twitter at alphabet_Ann. I think this is the last couple of days of my verified check because I'm only paying for Twitter Blue, so that's really tragic. And I'm also on Instagram at Taylor_Gates_, where I don't have a check and never have and probably never will.
And one day the poll will switch over to there. Maybe. I'm Yell Teagle. I'm everywhere at Yell Teagle. That is YAELTYGIEL. And that's all you need to know. Let's do it. We'll see you in a few minutes for the next episode of SVU. Bye.
Bye.